A very good morning. I'm C. Krishnamurthy from the Department of English, working as an assistant professor in Manna Thirumanayakar College. Today we are going to discuss about the Victorian era. So, if you are going to look into the history of English literature, there are totally two time periods which contains Queen's rule. One is the Great Elizabethan Age, which consisted of Shakespeare, the university wits, and the next is the Victorian Age, where the colonization flourished. So, speaking of Victorian Age, we can witness it was immediately after the Romantic Age, especially after the Agricultural Revolution, after the French Revolution. But in Victorian Age, things were completely different. Queen Victoria came to power, and we can witness there was the revolt of 1857 happening in India, and also there was the industrial boom. Industrial boom developed to population boom, and we can witness in the industrial boom a lot of iron furnace was developed. And one more advancement that happened during the Victorian time period was the mode of transportation, because the railway lines was introduced. Similarly, in communication wise, telegram was introduced. So modern ways of communication and modern ways of transportation led to n number of colonizations. Similarly, in Victorian time period, there was a major concept known as the Victorian dilemma. So we may wonder, what is this Victorian dilemma? When Charles Darwin published his Origin of Species in the year 1859, which said humans have been evolved from apes, there was a chaos among humans because the humans' faith was put under question. The people got confused whom to believe, whether to believe in religion or to science. So obviously, with this chaos, they moved out of England. If you see the last line of Ulysses in Alfred Lord Tennyson's, it says, to seek, to explore, and not to yield. These people did not want money, but they wanted an experience. So they moved out of England. And speaking of the Victorian era completely, there was the boom of a particular genre known as the novels. The novels, which began during the Augustan period with the help of Samuel Richardson, it slowly developed from epistolary to Gothic, and in Victorian, we have novels representing the social culture. We have huge number of novelists like Charles Dickens, George Eliot, and the Bronte sisters, and William Makepeace Thackeray, who are considered to be the major novelist. And speaking of the poets, we have Alfred Lord Tennyson and Robert Browning, who are the major poets. And we have one more writer who was a poet, who was a prose writer and a critic, which is Mathew Arnold. Mathew Arnold was born in 1822 and he died in 1888. Before speaking about Matthew Arnold's father was also famous because he was headmaster of a rugby school. And Matthew Arnold's father was mentioned by Lytton Strachey in Eminent Victorians. Lytton Strachey was a prominent member of the Bloomsbury Group, which was owned by Virginia Woolf. And speaking of Arnold, Arnold is famous for his magnum opus, which is Culture and Anarchy, which was published in the year 1869. In Culture and Anarchy, Arnold ridicules the three major class systems, which are the aristocrats. He addresses them as the barbarians. Then we have the middle class, whom he addresses as the Philistines, and then the working class, whom he addresses as the populace. And Cultural Anarchy laid the foundation for the cultural studies. And from Cultural Anarchy, we witness F.R. Lewis gaining his idea to speak about the mass culture. Arnold speaks about the high culture and the popular culture. And then in Cultural Anarchy, he speaks of two major concepts, which is Hebraism, which is it deals about the faith of a person, how a person's faith is more important. And next thing he speaks about is Hellenism, which is knowledge. And apart from these things, Arnold's major poem collection, which is his first poem collection, is the Strayed Reveller and other poems. And Arnold's major criticism concept, like he is considered to be one of the major modern critics, which is the touchstone method. The touchstone method is nothing but it's something in real life. If a person wants to sell his gold article, it is tested with the help of a touchstone. Similarly, Arnold says a modern poet should be tested with the help of the four major classical poets, who are Homer, Dante, Milton, and Shakespeare. With the help of these four major poets, Arnold says the modern poet's capacity can be tested and assessed. And then Arnold speaks of Another one of his major Persian work, which is Sohrab and Rustam. Yeah, Sohrab and Rustam deals about the conflict between a father and a son in a warfare, and this work was a reply to Fitzgerald's Omar Khayyam. Thank you.